guys, welcome to another episode of The Breakdown. And in today's session, we're going to be On today's episode, we're going to be talking about how I train like a bodybuilder and like a hybrid athlete. So if you're new here, I want you to feel free to hit on the subscribe button below and on the notification key for where there comes new videos. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So for bodybuilding, I've been doing that for quite a long time. Right, so you just get into it and then you realize you're stuck with it when you begin to see the changes that are causing your body and the results of the work you put into your body gives to you, right? So you just love the process, and of course at some point you begin to think like, oh damn man, I look like this, man, this is hot. If I take my shirt off, then it's gonna be like boom. But you know what? That's when you got no vision, right? But over the years when I was doing it, then it began to turn into something that I wouldn't say I started to love, because I've always loved it, but something more serious, right? So it all started from the fact that I started to get a feeling of the fact that people felt like I was getting this vibe that people felt like, oh, I woke up like this, right? So I mean, back then I never looked like that. I used to look like this, right? So I took it serious and I started to, feel like I needed to start putting out there my videos and how I train and everything that I do to have been developed my physique until now, right? And it's all natural. And about the natural stuff, I don't like talking about natural or not being natural, because all I've known is natural, right? So I keep on doing it all natural. But back to the fact that I train like a bodybuilder and also like a hybrid athlete, right? So along the line, I got to finally kind of like discover that there could be a certain different kind of training as to just going to the gym and pushing metals and pulling up metals and doing all the stuff just with weight, right? At some point you just feel like, it's not like you get bored of it, but you just for me, I felt like I wanted to do something more different, right? Most especially for the fact that I really love and enjoy movement, right? So during my trainings and how I train with a lot of movement. So when I'm pushing a weight, when I'm lifting a weight, when I'm doing whatever it is, I like to incorporate movement into it. And I feel like as humans, movement is part of our being, right? So in every little thing we do, right, we got to put movement into it. As to the fact that being in movement, it has played a very huge role into my workouts, right? I've never had any sort of injuries, and I'm telling you all real, just like it is. I've never had any for as long as I've been training for. I've never had any sort of like injuries, right? As long as I can remember, for the way I train, right, with a certain kind of a sense and safety. As to one of my principles is that I want to come back to train again the next day and next and so on and so forth. So right, I just keep training and I stick to what my experience is. I stick to what I know, and I also stick to learning more and from other people, from other trainees out there, or athletes out there, or bodybuilders out there. I get to watch some videos. I get to get to see what other people do, and if I'm training with somebody, I get to listen and I want to know what their idea is like as to how to train and whatever it is. So all that all together have been able to help me push or catapult my training into another kind of level, and I've been enjoying it so far, and here I am to this day. We're still to this day we're still enjoying it, and we're going forward, not backwards, and we keep developing. So for the hybrid athlete thing, when you see me flying, you see me jumping, you see me doing some Superman fly push-ups, you see me putting myself through some different kind of training obstacles, right? Some people wonder, oh God. Some people say, I get messages of, man, how do you do this stuff? It's so just unbelievable, man. I get some people say, man, you're just crazy. I get friends saying, man, you just ridiculous, right? So this was the idea what I wanted to create. Actually, when I started to train like that, I wanted to create an ideal of the fact that most people get to see bodybuilders as people who just, you know, they look big or they look shredded and they just look so stiff, right? They're unmovable, they can't move, they're inflexible, right? So I wanted to eradicate that stigma of the fact that when you see a bodybuilder, when you see an individual who really looks quite, you know, good physique and good body and all that stuff, and then you can also see him doing all that stuff. So you can also see him doing being flexible and being whatever. Of course, I know that there are individuals out there, bodybuilders or fitness outlets who look great and could do some phenomenal things, and not like I can do everything. No, I did a lot of things I can do, right? So, but as to this training like a hybrid athlete, right, of my trainings that I just showed you from the previous clip, right? So I got the idea that I wanted to incorporate this into bodybuilding and, you know, put out there the fact that you could actually do all of this and you could actually do all of these, right? So when I began to discover about this sort of kind of workouts that requires no weight at all, just your body weight, I started to fall in love with it, most especially when it seems so, you know, ridiculous. To me, it seems so ridiculous. So I can definitely understand the fact to why it should be looking so ridiculous to me doing all this stuff, right? And I actually was so messed up right at the beginning of it. I couldn't even, you know, I couldn't do a thing. I couldn't actually do that, right? But I just couldn't do that. But I could do push-ups, I could do all that, I could jump in that, but there was no endurance, there was no sort of like that hybrid qualities, that hybrid what am I gonna say, hybrid stamina and energy for all that stuff, because they're so new to me. I've never done all this before, but I feel I had a guts that I wanted to do this stuff. So the actual drive to that was that, oh, one day I got to go shoot during the winter, and I just wanted to do something just magnificent, right? Something just, you know, ridiculous, like you would call it. And then I was so downcasted by the level of my performances, right? It was just so messed up. I couldn't just imagine me performing like that. And you know what, the things you do behind the camera, in front of the cameras, right, when you get to watch it behind the camera, it just looks so messed up. I mean, oh God, you just don't want to see it, right? So that was part of my drive, and I was like, if I'm ever going to pull something like this out there, I need to develop myself, I need to school myself, I need to learn it, right? I need to focus into, I need to go into my closet and shut it up and, you know, get myself all weaponized and come out in like in the best beast mode you can ever see. So I got to the gym, and then I had to change my training section, my training plans, I mean, of which I really don't have sometimes, but anyways, as then I had to change my training plans as to, you know, I do the weightlifting like 4 days a week, and then I get to do the body weight training like 3 days a week, where I'm practicing how to do that and how to do that and how to do that. Every other things you've seen in my video in one of these hybrid circuits or one of these hybrid trainings, I had to practice all of that day in, day out, week in, week out. And that is why I've been able to get to the level that I am till today, and I am still practicing, because trust me, it's hard. I mean, you're doing bodybuilding and then you are doing bodyweight circuits and bodyweight training. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. In as much as you may not believe it, but it's absolutely ridiculous. It takes a ton on you, most especially in the flying. It takes a ton on your shoulders, it takes a ton on your scapulas, it takes a ton on your full body, right? So that comes to the fact where I'm able to conform my body to doing all of this. And trust me, anybody can do, absolutely anybody. You just gotta conform your body to it. You just have to tell your body to do this, right? So your body gets to fringe to things that it has never done before, to foreign things that it has never been exposed to. Your body gets to fringe to that. You can, some people, our bodies react in many different ways, right? Some people may get a ton of different sort of like varieties of factors of whatever it could be as to the stress and strain and pounding them, put your body through, right? So you can get all that, but when you put your mind to it, your body begins to learn that. That is the power of a human body. Your body begins to learn all those things, and your body begins to get used to it, and your body begins to create the stamina and the endurance and the sense of familiarity for you to be able to execute this or whatever it may be the next time, right? So in the process of getting into bodyweight circuits and bodyweight build exercises and hybrid workout, the idea is that when I'm actually performing and when I'm actually training like this, I want to look, I want to look like ridiculously good, right? When I mean ridiculously good, I don't mean ridiculously good for, oh yeah, the girls and ladies, no. No, I don't want to look ridiculously good for that. I want to look ridiculously good for the fact that of the message that I'm trying to put out there, right? So you can look like this bodybuilder and you can look like this, this very looking good aesthetics individual right here, and still you can be doing this, right? So this is the idea. So what I do is during my training sections, I put my training, I'm gonna have months and months and months of just me bodybuilding and just me, lifting weight. Everything that has to do with weight has nothing to do with body weight exercises, body weight workouts, right? In as much as I love movement. So at some point I'm gonna cut all that off and I'm gonna start with the body weight exercises or the body weight circuit, right? So at this point in time, this is the frame between the bodybuilding and the hybrid. This is the frame at which I get to start conforming my body in preparation of this sort of exercise or this sort of training, which is the hybrid training, right? So I'm taking a break from bodybuilding or pushing weight or everything that got to do with that, and now I'm coming just barely on bodyweight exercises. And through this process is hard from the beginning, because then it feels like I am no longer familiar with what I could actually do, what my body's actually used to. But after the first day, after the second day, everything just begins to get so easy, then I'll tell you a secret. You just begin to feel as light as a paper, and that is how I feel when I make those flies and when I do every sort of stuff that is involved into whichever circuit that I'm doing at that time, right? But of course you feel a bit heavy, and but the consistency you put in it begins to make it feel all easy, right? And your body just connects with whatever you're doing, and that makes it easy. So I'm going into that bodyweight exercise or bodyweight circuit or whatever the hybrid outlet thing that I'm doing. I'm going to be doing that for about a week or two, 3 weeks, right? So in this process, in as much as this exercises could be, you could call them hits, they can be extremely exhausting, like extremely intense. But as a result of that, I am also in a resting period as to pushing weight, because they're totally different. They're totally two different things. So I am actually in a body rest as at this time to bodybuilding, right? Because I'm all doing the bodyweight training right now. So in this process of training, you're just doing hits, right? So everything you're doing is hit, because they're just so intense. They're high intensity workouts, right? So your body's going through some different sort of measures of intensity. So for us that time, whatever your time frame of training or whatever my time frame of training is at that time, it is gonna be so intense. I am burning a lot of calories. I am putting my body through strain. I am just getting shredded, but at the same time I'm also putting my body through some rest. And what do I mean by through some rest, right? So my trainings could be like today, could be 4 3 to 4, 5 times a week. My trainings could be just one full 1 hour or 30 minutes of whatever it's gonna be, and I'm cool with all of that, right? Because I have to give my body that kind of rest it deserves to be able to perform like that. And that is it. There ain't no cap about this. That is it. So if I think I'm going to be doing a shoot or something, for example, I want to do a bodyweight shoot, I gotta stay away from bodybuilding or pushing weights for some amount of days to be able to perform like that, right? So the point is, I am eradicating every sort of injuries that have come along the way while doing this, because it's totally different. It's different from what we think, you know, training or just, you know, working out with weights and all that is. Bodyweight exercises are one of the most, when you're talking about it, they're one of the most effective trainings, and in as much as weight works, I mean, they also work as well, because everything you're working with is just your body weight. So this is how I enjoy doing that, and when you combine the two together, I just love it, right? I love the fact that I can do that and I can also do this, and that is the message I'm bringing. I'm trying to put out there that every one of you might have got a glimpse of, oh man, how does this guy do this and does this? There's no confusion about it. The thing is, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy movement exercises. I enjoy circuits. I wanna move. I don't want to be stiff, right? In as much as I want to look all, you know, all aesthetics looking, all, you know, muscle and shredded looking and lean gains and all that. I also want to be able to do all of that and be able to know mentally and psychologically that I can still be able to do this stuff. So how did this come into existence? This came into existence from different sort of circuits and different kind of sort of hybrid movements or movement that I've seen out there on the gram. One very good bodyweight trainer that I usually see and which I got inspired from doing all of this was this guy out here. Is actually very, very great, right? So he's one of the person I look up to when I do this stuff, the things it does, and I just, you know, incorporate it into my exercise and just form my own me in doing all of this. So it has made me to really enjoy fitness in a different way, and it has made me really enjoy giving you guys some really good content out there and making you guys understand that you could actually just love fitness in a totally different manner. You could actually just you know, be amazing in whatever you do as to fitness, right? Fitness can just be far more than you going to the gym and you lifting up those weight and you doing all of that. It can be actually total lifestyle of enjoyment in totally different manners, right? You can talk about the dieting, the eating, you can talk about whatever it is, the training, you can talk about the process you pass through, you go through in order to get all these things in place. You can now talk about the things you do to stay active, of which there are tons and tons of million things you can do that are out there that you can do to stay active and to stay, you know, and to stay very productive in this stuff. So in this whole episode right here, I hope I've been able to make you guys understand the reasons why I train this as a bodybuilder and as a hybrid athlete. And you can do all of that by just focusing and knowing what you want and how you want to do those things, right? You don't really need to train like a hybrid athlete. You can just do the bodybuilding, but I don't want to feel like I am just confined to bodybuilding and just being stiff to that, right? I just want to feel so much, you know, I just want to look, my idea to bodybuilding is I just want to look so lean gains, aesthetics, and, you know, craft my body in that manner, in that way that it's expected to look, natural bodybuilding and whatever. And then I also want to move like a hybrid, right? And that is my idea and that is my message, and that's what I am working towards. And none of these things come out from me just chilling and sitting there and watching movies and just going to the gym. No, I work my ass off for these things. I practice my ass off for these things. I am doing a lot of practices. Like they say, practice makes perfect. But you may call it practice, I may call it practice. but it's called, we all call it workouts, right? So, but as to the hybrid outlet thing, it's a practice for me, because if I don't keep doing that, if I don't keep acknowledging myself, I'm building new tricks and tricks in how to do and in how to make a lot of different sort of combos and make it so looking so nutritional and so captivating to your eyes out there. You wouldn't enjoy whatever is coming out of it. Like, I've gotten some comments of somebody saying, okay, well, I mean, what's this, or what's this whole thing for? What's this whole idea for? I mean, the whole idea is built endurance, stability, flexibility, energy level high, and so forth. Whatever you can think about that this is going to give, that it's got a level of heat, cardio, it burns calories in a ridiculous way. And the fact that you're just able to know that, you know, all your joints, your body, and all that still works, right? And it's just a beauty, right? So it's a lifestyle, and that is why I've loved my journey, and I'm loving my journey, and I'm just gonna keep going on and keep pushing it on, and just keep you know, confirming my mind and my mental to this and to fitness in general. In conclusion to this video, I know it's all sounds like I, but the message that I'm trying to give out here to you guys out there is that when it comes to fitness, the way you approach fitness, the way I approach fitness is I approach it as a lifestyle, right? I mean, of course, you got to start from somewhere. By the time you start, you know, if 21 days pass, it becomes a hobby. 90 days, it becomes, you can complete that for yourself. So approach it as to, what do you want to give into this place, and what do you want to get out of this place? What do you want to achieve from it? You gotta have a picture. You gotta have a picture of what you want to look like, where you want to be, and what you want to do. Where do you want to take this to? What level do you want to take this to? What way do you want to what way do you want to incorporate this into your lifestyle? What is the benefit? What are you enjoying from this whole thing, right? So when you're able to have that picture completely, then you are able you are going to be able to execute whatever it is that you need to execute into your fitness life. I hope you guys have been able to enjoy this video out here, and thank you guys so much for keeping up with the breakdown series. Soon it's going to be coming to an end, and then we're going to be going to the next level of whatever we're going to be doing. So nothing but much love, and all I'm going to do right now is tell you guys peace and Ken Train out.